Welcome to Imagine Peace, the podcast that invites you on a transformative journey toward a world filled with harmony and understanding. Together, let's ignite the flame of peace within ourselves and radiate it outward so we can have a future where unity prevails. This is Imagine Peace, where dreams become reality. Join us as we explore the power of compassion, the beauty of diversity, and the potential for positive change. Hello, I'm Marbeth Dunn with 10 Million for World Peace on the Imagine Peace podcast. And I have the great honor today to interview my very dear friend and cohort, co-founder and co-director of our 10 Million for World Peace project, Teri Angel. Teri is the founder of Angel Speakers, Inc., a nonprofit corporation whose mission is education on peace and environmental issues. She has traveled the continental United States extensively over the last few years, speaking and peace building and doing land blessings. She is a certified happiness life coach, death doula, business coach, best-selling author, spiritual teacher and mentor, and a motivational speaker. She's been a peace ambassador since 2014 with the Global Peace and Prosperity Initiative. Teri, I'm so thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you, Marbeth. It's an honor to be here.
Well, you're doing so much, really, for peace. Why don't you tell us about some of the things that you're doing?
Well, in 2020, in September, I left Florida, where I was living most of my life, and I had just gotten the intuitive message to go on this pilgrimage, I guess you could call it, this mission to travel the country to bring in more peace. And interestingly, it happened during the pandemic, during the lockdown, when everybody was told just to stay in your homes. And that's when I was told to go by my spirit guides. And I even said, don't you all know what's going on here on Earth? It's like, this really can't be when you want me out there traveling. But I heard very clearly that this is when it was needed, because we needed that energy of calm and peace throughout the land. So I left Florida and I've traveled coast to coast 3 times now across the United States and up and down. And as I go along, I do educate people. I do talk to everybody I can. I hand out informational material and just encourage people to get more involved and say, what can you do? What does your gut tell you that you're able to do to usher in peace in our world? So that's my favorite part of what I'm doing, is just the traveling and meeting people and interacting and blessing the land and bringing in that energy. And then earlier this year, you and I got the intuitive hit to begin this project, which is 10 Million for World Peace, where we are gathering 10 million people across the planet to focus energy toward our world leaders, our national leaders, our local leaders, really anybody that's making decisions that impacts all of us. And I fully believe that it is making an impact when we do this, when we gather together for 7 minutes a day. And starting on September 1st, we are going to do this daily, a 7-minute guided meditation for 21 days, ending on the International Day of Peace on the 21st. So that's a little bit about what I do.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
So how do you think the work that you're doing is impacting the world?
I see it. And the places that I go to, usually I'm invited by people to come into an area and do this ritual of a land blessing, which is where we ask for peace to be on the land. We actually talk to Mother Gaia and ask for it to be peaceful in that area that we're in. And I see it and I hear from the people where I come into these areas that the energy feels different. And they can see a difference in how people are interacting with each other. I haven't done the statistics like you had done in your world peace experiment to see what the drop is in the level of violence and crime and all of that. But just getting the feedback from people that it does seem more positive. It seems like there's a lot that's happening after a place has been visited, and that energy, that intention is set for the energy to shift. It does shift.
Oh, I know.
That's why I'm excited about our peace experiment worldwide, globally, to have this happen.
I don't think people realize how important intention is when it's for the good.
It's one of the most powerful things you can do is start your day with an intention, make an intention for your year, your month. Yeah, just put that energy out there of what you envision and what you would like to see happen. It's different than goal setting.
Yeah,
It's actually holding it in your heart that it's real, that it's already happened, and then see it and believe it and have faith that it is actually in progress.
absolutely. And I know that, speaking of energy, the energy in the land, there are beings, there are spirits that live in the land.
Mhm.
I've had communication with them also. I've done land clearings, and it's just, it's a very profound experience.
Mhm.
You can just feel that energy shift. So, on another subject, moving back to peace, what does world peace mean for you?
Oh, I have to smile when I think of world peace because I see world peace maybe a little bit different than the majority of people do. Because when I ask people, I travel through the land and I ask people, what is peace to you? And a lot of people answer with, the end of war, the end of conflict, but it's really, it goes more deep than that. It's a calming, harmonious energy, a respectful energy where we see each other as equal. We drop all the facade of competition and comparison and the hierarchies of, this, just because you have something that somebody else doesn't, that you're higher. When you have peace, you don't see the material, you see what's inside. So it's looking at each other and seeing the real being that's in that human body. And when you do that and you honor that soul that's in there, that's when it's peaceful, because there's no energy that's conflicting. It's all just the oneness going into that unified field of consciousness where we all know that we're the same. And that's what peace is. It's not even having to think about what you have or don't have, or anything else that's going on. And it doesn't mean that there's not other things happening, because there still will be conflict. Just it'll be a different energy. It'll be a shift that says, no, we want the peace instead of that conflict.
Beautiful. But we can respect each other's opinions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't have to go to war with them. So, do you really believe peace is possible?
I feel it with every bit of my energy. I know it's possible. And I think that's a huge part of manifesting, is when you can see it real, believe it to be real, and go forward with confidently in that knowingness. I do believe it's possible. I believe there are so many people and organizations right now that are collaborating, working together for the same goal. And, the old saying, where two or more are gathered, that energy just really is exacerbated and goes out in a powerful way. So I think this is something that its time has come. I call it divine timing, that now we are aware of that we can maneuver the energy, we can impact it in this positive way with our intention, with our focused meditations, and our knowingness that this is what we want. This is what we desire, not all of the the historical wars, and if you want something, go take it. It's more a time of, let's do this, let's live harmoniously. So yes, I fully believe 100% that peace is possible.
So talk to me about meditation for peace. Why do you think that works?
Meditation is one of my favorite things in life. When I first found meditation, I thought, oh, where has this been all my life? Because there's no other feeling like what you get from meditating. And meditating is not just shutting out everything, because when you meditate, there's still going to be thoughts in your head. There's still going to be noise around you, and the things that are happening. But what it is a connection. So when you connect in to your heart, then you know that that peace is possible, because that's where you feel it. We have to feel it inside for that peace to happen on the outside. So that's why it's important. If each of us individually sat and meditated, that would be powerful in itself. But bring together like what we're seeing happening now, not just with our project, but with many projects, where we gather together that energy and send it out from us, from the inside of us. This is what the whole impetus is. This is what's going to start that ball rolling to go into peace.
Whoa, we love it. So what is your favorite peace practice?
My favorite peace practice is actually something I learned about a decade ago. It's called the heart-brain coherence. I call it the heart-brain connection, or heart-mind to the divine. And it's very simple. It's got 3 steps. You touch your heart center, because wherever you're touching on your physical body is where your focus goes. So it's always heart-centered. And then you slow down the breathing. That's the second part. So touching the heart, slow down the breathing, which slows down everything when you do that. When you intentionally bring in a very slow, deep breath into your lungs and exhale it also slowly. And then the third part, you add in something very positive. Bring in some positive thoughts, maybe a hug from a friend, a beautiful sunset or sunrise, walking in nature, just taking in that positive energy. And if you do this for 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, it's going to change your brain state. First of all, you're going into the highest brain state possible. And it also is very healing to you, because it starts to work on the cells in your body, and it starts to repair and change what's inside of you. And as I said earlier, peace has to start on the inside. And when we do this meditative practice for 3 minutes, we go into such a peaceful, amazing state that I stay there for hours after I've done it for just 3 minutes. So
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
Yeah, it's called the heart-brain coherence, and I learned it from Heart Math Institute in California. They're the ones the scientists that brought it forward, and had studied like gurus and yogis, and are like, how do you all do this? How do you maintain that energy of peace? And after all the research, this is what they came up with. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite practices of all time.
It's lovely. It's lovely. How do people reach you, Teri? How do they find you?
I have a website called angelspeakers.com. That is a plural, angel speakers. You can reach me there by the contact page, or you can email me at Teri@angelspeakers.com. And I'm on all social media. I'm everywhere. So usually it's Gratitude Girl without an I, Gratitude GRL. If you go onto Instagram, Twitter, whatever it's called now, LinkedIn. So you can find me on any of those under Gratitude Girl.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teri. So wonderful to be doing this amazing project with you.
Yes, it feels really good. It feels in alignment. When
Yes, it
something
does.
is divinely orchestrated,
Yep.
flows, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marbeth.